Well, this is Photography 101. Welcome. All of you should have one of these little gadgets in your hand and be looking at it, checking it out, what there's all about it. Photography 101 is taking in consideration you don't know a lot about this. So what we're going to do, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to watch a videotape, slideshow. And then afterwards we'll come back and I'll tell you what I want you to do with these. So hang in there, keep an eye on here, I'll explain it all to you. Okay, the first thing we want to look at in Photography 101 is a little bit of background, something that happened in the past, maybe some history you don't know about. Now we're going to be looking at the first photograph taken in France in 1826. Rather interesting. It involved painting coal tar over a flat platinum plate and exposing it through a lens for about 8 hours. That's fast photography. This is kind of what it looks like today. And then to enhance this is what it should look like. This is an enhanced version of the same image. Again, it's not very exciting, but it is the first photograph. The photographic process has improved greatly over the last 200 years. A camera that used to require 9 people to carry now fits in the back of your pocket. And 8-hour exposure time has been whittled down to less than 1/1000th of a second. Pretty good process. Here's that 900-pound camera. It costs about as much as a house does. And then this one costs as much as a bag of hamster food. Rather small. In the old days we had this. Now I actually had a Pentax, but the Canon will do. This is a camera of quite a long time ago. Incidentally, this camera is referred to as an SLR, which stands for, as you see, single lens reflex. The ones that you have in front of you are most likely going to be DSLRs, which is simply a digital single lens reflex. Most high-end cameras today are DSLRs, but most people have those point-and-shoot cameras. They do all the work for you. They have no mirrors or anything. Very simple. Back in the old days, take a photo, you do a couple things. First of all, you open your camera up, you take a roll of film. We call this acetate film. That's what I used to call it. You buy a roll of film. You make sure the ASA, which is now the ISO setting on your film, match that of the camera, or you'd ruin every shot. Load the film in your camera. Make sure you do this in the dark so you don't expose the film. Advance the film to the first frame, and then you shoot. And you could have a roll of film that was 12, 24, or 36 exposures. When you were finished with the 12, 24, or 36 shots, you would have to reload the camera with new film. By the way, if you had a 36 shot roll of film, and you went out and you took 4 shots and they were the best shots and you wanted to get those shots, you would lose all the other shots. You would have to waste the entire roll of film. Kind of interesting idea. And every shot cost about 19 cents at the time. For the context, a single gallon of gasoline at that time was around 30-35 cents. When you had 3 or 4 rolls of film ready to process, guess what? You'd go off to this kind of a place. This kiosk, so you go into a building or whatever, and you would hand over all your film. And then you'd wait, and wait, and wait, and wait. Then in about 3 or 4 days, you'd pick up your photos, praying that some of them had turned out as you hoped. Some of them, not so much. I would say out of a roll of 36, unless you're really good, you may get half of them exposed the way you want to, sometimes even less than that. And again, 19 cents each, pretty expensive. Or you could do it yourself. This was the fun part, but very expensive, very time consuming. You'd remove the exposed film from the camera, hopefully in the dark, so you don't expose and ruin all your pictures. Then you have a lab like this at home that costs thousands and thousands of dollars. We call this a dark room. It's not dark right now, but with all the lights off, very dark. use deadly caustic chemicals, which is true. It got pretty stinky in those labs sometimes. And then when you're done developing your negatives, you would then use an enlarger. You would use photosensitive paper, and you learn how to do dodging and burning of a photo. And those were terms that were quite frequently used back in those days. Now, the deadly it says now back to the deadly the chemicals to develop your photos. Again, when you are done with enlarging your photos in the darkroom, you now need to put them through a chemical bath. And again, then you put them up to dry. That takes a little while. And then now, today, guess what you get to do? You point, you click, you push a button, it goes to your printer, you enter a contest because, oh wow, how pretty it is, and then you can sell that print for $10,000. It could be that easy. It's not really that easy for me, but it is that easy for some people. The result of this improvement efficiency is this. Everyone, and I mean everyone, is a photographer. So with that in mind, everyone has the same equipment. What do? How does our work stand out? The answer is very simple. You have to learn discipline. You have to learn the things others are too lazy to learn. You have to be patient. Wait for the right light. You have to wait for the right shot. Allow yourself time to learn. And always seek the unique. Try to find something new and different way to capture the subject. Photography should be fun. If it's not, you're doing something wrong. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to put everything away, take our cameras, and we're going to go out and have about half an hour of just fun. And we're going to roam around the neighborhood and just take pictures. And then come back to the video and we'll see what our next assignment will be. Okay, we are back, and now we know what this is. This is called digital single lens reflex. It can do a lot of things, and the whole purpose of this class is to teach you about this camera, how to use it, and how to make great photographs. Then you take this class and you go to the next level, which will be digital arts, and that is taking your photographs and putting them to things like Photoshop or to Painter and creating all kinds of neat things from that. We're also going to be using your Google Drives. Now, most of you should have your Google Drive already set up. If you have not, you need to let me know. You have my card with my email on it, just let me know. And then I'll do is I'll send you the screenshots of how to set that up. I have a screencast that does all that. So just let me know. Now, those of you who do have your Google Drives, you should have a folder that I have sent to you that has permission to edit. And in that folder, you should have your English folder, you should have your history folder. I need you to create a new folder. And in that folder, what you will do is you will create one called, oh there it is. You just create a folder and you go to my drive, you go to that level where your shared folder is, let's say your name's Zane, and it'll be Zane's folder. You open that up, in Zane's folder you have your English folder where you've been putting all your literature collections. You should have your US one where you've been putting all your collections from your history, whether it's world history or US history or even government. And then you're going to create a new one by going up here and saying, where it says the new, right there, that looks great. And you're going to say new folder, and here you'll have this new folder, and you're going to be naming it. You'll say your name's Zane, Zane's Photography. And in that folder is where you're going to be keeping all of your work. You open, after you name it, you open this folder up, and you put in another folder, and you're going to call it Pics, Pictures, Images, whatever. So whenever you take a picture with this, you're going to put them in that folder. Matter of fact, you just came back from taking pictures. Again, you took all these pictures not knowing how to use this camera. Great. What I need to do is get these pictures that you just took onto that folder. Some of you know how to do that, some of you don't. A couple ways you could do it. One, if you have a cable that goes from your camera to your computer, you can upload them that way. If you have a, in here you have what we call an SD card. You take the SD card on this one, the SD card is on this side right here. You take the SD card, which is a little memory card, and if you have a PC, you might have a SD card reader. If you have a Macintosh, you can actually buy an SD card reader for a couple bucks. It doesn't cost, and if you have a hard time with that, come on in. I have all that kind of stuff. I can put it right into your Google Drive. When you have done that, you are going to, in your Zane's photography folder, whatever you want to call it, what you're going to do is you're going to create a slide. So you go to Google Slides, go up to My Drive, up to New, and you go down to where your Slides program is, and you open that up. And go ahead and create your first slide. Now I will put in your folders another screencast on how to do this. But it is pretty easy. Most of you have already done this. You're going to create a slide. They're going to be blank slides. The first slide is going to be basic, your title page. Then after that, you're going to be putting your work in there. Such as, in your folders, you will find something called a HyperDoc. And it's a HyperDoc that I've created, and it has 12 pictures on it. And within those, you have your hyperlinks to those lessons. And it'll actually take you to a video lesson on YouTube. You will watch that video lesson. You will embed that video lesson into your slide. You will take notes on that video and make points, little bullets on what you learned on that YouTube. Then, the next slides, you will take the pictures that you took after you saw the video using whatever they were teaching. Like if they were going to be teaching you how to do ISO, they're going to teach you how to do that, then you're going to take pictures using that information. You would embed 4 pictures using 2 slides, 2 pictures per slide. And next to each picture, you're going to tell me the techniques you use to get that picture. And we will go on from there. There'll be different videos every week that you'll have to do, and they are on your HyperDoc. So does everyone pretty much understand that? If you are having any questions about that, give me a call. But remember, you do have the screencast I've made for you. You also have this video that I made for you. Just keep in mind, you are going to go to your drive. You already have a folder that is shared with me. You're going to open that up. You're going to create a new folder called, whatever your name is, photography. You'll open that up, create a pictures folder where you can just drop all your raw pictures in there, so that when you embed them in your slides, they're available. They're right there. Then what you will be doing, your very first assignment is you're actually going to find a graphic of this or a picture on this on Google Images. Make sure you get a picture that has copyrights or no copyrights. It's free to use for anything. So you'll take a picture of this. It'll have all these little gadgets on there, have all these little markings on there, whether it's a Canon or a Nikon or whatever it is. The reason why you want all these gadgets is because when you get the picture on there, you're going to draw arrows to these pictures, and you're going to label what they are and what they do. You may need to have 2 slides to do that. That is explained in the HyperDoc. But keep in mind, so your very first thing you're going to be doing is learning about your camera. That is going to be the first link. You're going to go to, I think it's a 7-minute video that's going to be talking about everything that's on this camera, how to use it, even how to take off the lens and replace it with a a new lens, a different lens, and what that's for. There are all kinds of lenses that you could put on there. I'm not going to teach you that here. This is actually going to be another video that you're going to be watching. And then after that, you're going to label your camera. Then the next week, you're going to learn how to start taking those pictures. Remember, everyone is able to be a photographer now. These are so easy to use. What's going to make you different than anyone else is you're going to be disciplined enough to learn the things that other people are too lazy to learn. There's a lot to learn about these, but it is easy to use. You're also going to be patient. And you just need to be patient for the right lighting. Remember, photography is all about the light, how the light reflects off the surface that you're taking a picture of. It's also going to be how do you set up that picture. So if you're going to be patient with the process, you're going to get the right shots. You're going to get the right lighting, and you're going to get the right picture. And you're going to be very happy with what you do. So, what I need you to do now is go ahead and upload all those pictures you just took and put them into your drive after you've created your folder. Okay? Hey, we'll see you next time. Bye.